Good morning. My name is David Garcia. I'm the legal counsel for USARK, the U.S. Association of Reptile Keepers. USARK requests that the U.S. oppose the listed proposals for the Hispaniolan gallywasp, Carabicus warrenii, the Mount Elliott leaf-tailed gecko, Phylurus aminicola, the ringed fin-tailed gecko, Phylurus caunimulatus, the genus listings for Crotalus and Cicistris, and the Holmes hingeback turtle, Cynixis homenii. These proposals are factually and logically flawed and don't warrant support from the United States government. The Appendix 1 listing, the proposed Appendix 1 listing for the Hispaniolan gallywasp alleges that all the specimens in trade are illegally sourced, since the Dominican Republic has not authorized the export of this species. Yet the listing proposal acknowledges that legal trade has been reported for 30 years from Haiti, a non-party to the convention. There is no attempt to reconcile this factual issue in the proposal. Furthermore, the prices cited in the proposal are all less than $250, showing that this is not a species that is in high demand. The U.S. should not indulge this poorly drafted proposal from the Dominican Republic. As to the two species of Phylurus proposed by Australia, the proposal ignores that the trade in these species is in captive bred specimens and that geckos are generally bred, are well represented in the captive trade of the captive pet trade. Australia also acknowledges that legal export of these species has occurred. Australia's proposal, however, fails to factually demonstrate that the trade, fails to factually demonstrate that the trade in these species is in illegal specimens. The service is reminded that the U.S. has a strong respect for property rights, and countries like Australia should be discouraged from making baseless claims, such as those in these proposals, in an attempt to undermine the property rights of our citizens. Once an animal has been exported from a country of endemic origin, that country has no right over the specimens. It is our citizens' rights to their property that should dominate. The proposal by Mexico and Bolivia to list the entire genuses of rattlesnakes are an extreme overreach and should also be opposed. First, we must acknowledge that they accuse the U.S. of willfully trading in Mexican endemic species without any evidence that the Mexican government has failed to export those species in the past. The U.S. should not accept those baseless claims by the Mexican state. Furthermore, the reported trade values are minuscule. We believe that these proposals are unwarranted and may be better handled through other mechanisms of CITES. Likewise, with Cynixis homenii, the proposal says that they are being ranched and captive bred, yet assumes that trade is not that those are not correct designations. That is also better handled through CITES trade mechanisms to review that trade. And finally, we are seriously concerned with document 73, trade in endemic species. We are seriously concerned about this document because it allows states to undermine the property rights of U.S. citizens through baseless claims that their species have not been legally exported. This doc needs to be reworked to require robust evidence before we take any of these claims by countries of endemic origin seriously. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for listening to our comments. My name is Arthur Parola, and my comment is on behalf of the Animal Interest Alliance. We also echo the comment of United States Association of Reptile Keepers. This comment is also in regard to Prop 19, the proposal for Carabicus warrenii, the Hispaniolan giant gollywasp. In the proposal submitted by the Dominican Republic, the claim is made that all specimens in international trade were illegally acquired. However, the proposal also states that Haiti legally exported the species at least through the 1990s. These two statements are incompatible with one another. Clearly, all specimens in international trade are not illegal. This highlights a growing problem with a number of such claims of illegality growing, often with little evidence other than the absence of such records from decades ago when no records were kept. As such, the U.S. and CITES Secretariat should be skeptical of such claims. We request that the Fish and Wildlife Service oppose the proposal and any other proposal with factual inconsistencies or lack of records or data as the basis of the proposal. Thank you.
I'm Bob Likins. I'm with the Pet Advocacy Network. David Garcia from USARK has already spoken to the flaws within the proposal on tarantulas. So I just wanted to mention very briefly that the proposal would also have actual adverse effects with regard to conservation. There are several range states that have repopulation programs in place that are partially funded by commercial sales. Mexico is a great example. It has operations called UMAs that raise over 1 million specimens a year to release into the wild. They fund this program by taking 30% of the specimens they raise, selling them commercially so they can release the other 70%. Unfortunately, Mexico is so unpredictable as to the time it takes to get a CITES export permit approved that most of the specimens coming into the U.S. don't come from Mexico, they come from Germany and the Netherlands. The CITES listing actually adversely affects the ability of Mexico to repopulate the tarantulas. So I just wanted to add that as one additional thing with it, and appreciate your time. Thank you.